Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare.
जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव सदि गौर भक्त वृंदा। जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव सदि गौर भक्त वृंदा। श्री कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपी कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कंचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिये। श्री राधे गोलोकानंद भगवान की
जय।
हरे कृष्णा everyone.
Hare
Hare Krishna
everyone. Hare Krishna.
कृष्णा
Hare Krishna
हरे कृष्णा सोहम शिवम
Hare Krishna.
All right, so we are reading Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 1, Adhyay 18, right? So, इस अध्याय में, and the title of this chapter is A Brahman Boy Cursing Maharaj Parikshit. So, what we have seen so far is Maharaj Parikshit, he was hungry and thirsty on the way back, very tired, and he enters into a ashram of a rishi. तो एक ऋषि के आश्रम में, तपो आश्रम में इंटर होते हैं। कौन से ऋषि के आश्रम में है? क्या नाम है उनका? समीक ऋषि है, समीक ऋषि। या समीक ऋषि के आश्रम में महाराज परीक्षित इंटर होते हैं। वो जल के लिए पूछते हैं, लेकिन समीक ऋषि मेडिटेशन में होते हैं, राइट? ही इज बियॉन्ड हिज स्थूल शरीर, बियॉन्ड माइंड, राइट? With realization of soul, he is deep in meditation. And now, given the circumstances, right, it's said that it's because of this, Srimad Bhagvatam was read, so this incident had to happen. So Maharaj Parikshit gets angry, and then what does he do?
He puts a dead snake around the Rishi's neck.
Yeah. So he gets
Shoulder.
the snake with his arrow and puts it on the Rishi, and then he leaves. So he goes back, and then when he's going back, what happens? Then his son, Samik Rishi's son, comes to know about this. And what is the name of Samik Rishi's son? Shringi, right? So Shringi is the name of Samik Rishi's son, the Brahman boy. And then Brahman boy, he gets very upset, and then what does he do? Brahman boy, क्या करते हैं?
He curses Maharaja Parikshit.
श्राप देते हैं महाराजा परीक्षित को। एंड क्या श्राप क्या होता है?
After a week, you will be bitten by the snake.
Right. On the 7th day from today, 7th day, Takshak Nag is going to bite Maharaj Parikshit, which means his life is only there for 7 more days. Right? So that's what happens. And then I think we'll read from there, see what happens next. Yeah. So yesterday we saw the Brahman's son cursed the king. On the 7th day from today, a snake bird, Takshak, will bite the most raised one of that dynasty, Maharaj Parikshit, because of his having broken the laws of Tikete by insulting my father. Anilji?
Yeah. Tato betyashramam balo gale sarp kalevram pitaram viksh dukharto mukta kancho ruroda.
7th day from today, 7th day from today, a snake bird, Takshak, will bite the most raised one of that dynasty, Maharaj Parikshit, because of his having broken the laws of Tikete by insulting my father. Anilji?
Yeah. ततो बेत्याश्रमं बालो गले सर्पकलेवरं पितरं वीक्ष्य दुःखार्तो मुक्तकण्ठो रुरोरदः Therefore, when the boy returned to the hermitage, he saw a snake on his father's shoulder, and out of his grief he cried very loudly. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, right? So Shringi comes back to Swami Krishna's ashram. Ajay?
तवा आंग गिरसो ब्रह्मान श्रुत्वा सुतविलापनम उन्मीलन्य शनक नेत्रम दृष्ट्वा चांसे मितोर्गमम. O Brahmans, the rishi who was born in the family of Angira Muni, hearing his son crying, gradually opened his eyes and saw the dead snake around his neck. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Swami Krishna opened the eye because he heard his son crying, right? And Swami Krishna is in the family of Angira Muni. So, that's a homework. Find out who Angira Muni was. Yeah? Angira Muni. Mukesh?
विसृज्य तम च प्रपच वत्स कस्माधिच रोदिषि केन वा ते अप्रकृत मित्युक्ता स नयवेद्यत. He threw the dead snake aside and asked his son why he was crying, whether anyone had done him harm. On hearing this, the son explained to him what had happened. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, right? So Swami Krishna is not aware of what has happened. He is not at all aware, right? So Shringi is explaining him what actually has happened. Nishamya saptamatadharaham narendra se brahmano natmajam dhyanandrita ahom bantaho maha daddate krita malpi ashidroha urdamo ghrita. So,
The father heard from his son that the king had been cursed, although he should never have been condemned. He was the best amongst all human beings. The Orasa Rishi did not congratulate his son, but on the contrary, began to repent, saying, Alas, what a great sinful act was performed by my son. He was awarded a heavy punishment for an insignificant offense. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, right? So Swami Krishna ke liye it's no big deal, right? It was a very insignificant offense. But the Maharaj Parikshit, right? Who is he? He is the best amongst all the human beings. Swami Krishna knows, right? It says Narendra. Narendra is the best among the human beings. And he is also Rajashri, right? So Rishi actually really thought this is a sinful act done by his son. Rinaji?
न वै नृभिर्नरदेवं पराख्यं सम्मातु महर्षि विपक्व बुद्धे यत्तेजसा दुर्विषहेण गुप्ता विन्दन्ति भद्राण्य कुतो भयाः प्रजाः. O my boy, your intelligence is immature, and therefore you have no knowledge that the king, who is the best among human beings, is as good as the personality of Godhead. He is never to be placed on an equal footing with common men. The citizens of the state live in prosperity, being protected by his unsurpassable prowess. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And Sachin?
अलक्ष्यमाणे नरदेवानांनि रथाग्र पाणा वयं मग्न लोकः तदा हि चौर प्रचुरो विनक्ष त्यारक्षमाणो अविवरुथवत् क्षणात्. My dear boy, the Lord, who carries the wheel of a chariot, is represented by the monarchical regime. And when this regime is abolished, the whole world becomes filled with thieves, who then at once vanquish the unprotected subjects like scattered lambs. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Right? So Swami Krishna is basically telling Shringi, brown boy, that if Maharaj Parikshit goes, then what's going to happen, right? Kali Yuga. Nisha?
तदध्यनः पापमुपैत्यनन्वयम् यन्नष्टनाथस्य विलुम्पकात् परस्परं घ्नन्ति शपन्ति वृज्यते पशून्स्त्रियोऽथान् रुदस्यो जनः. Due to the termination of the monarchical regimes and the plundering of the people's wealth by rogues and thieves, there will be great social disruptions. People will be killed and injured, and animals and women will be stolen. And for all these sins, we shall be responsible. Hare Krishna.
So Swami Krishna is going beyond. He's saying, like, now, what his son has done, all these things are going to happen, and who is responsible for that? So, Ravi?
Yes. Tadartha yadharma pravilyat narana varnashramachara yukta strimeya tathorth kami bhiniveshitamanana shuna kapiman viva varna sankara. At that time, the people in the jungle will fall systematically from the path of a progressive civilization in respect to the qualitative engagements of the caste and the order of the society and the Vedic injunctions. Thus, they will be more attracted to economic development for the sense gratifications, and as a result, there will be an unwanted population on the level of dogs and monkeys. Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Right? Essentially, whatever is going to happen in Kali Yuga is what Swami Krishna is thinking. Mukesh?
Dharmapalo Narpati Satu Samran Brihachava Sakshanam Maha Bhagavato Raj Rishi Hare Medyat Shrutut Shramyuto Dino Nevasal Sam Acha Pap Maharti. The Emperor Parikshit is a pious king. He is highly celebrated and is a first-class devotee of the personality of Godhead. He is a saint amongst royalty and has performed many horse sacrifices. When such a king is tried and fatigued, being stricken with hunger and thirst, he does not at all deserve to be cursed. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Right? So he says, Mahabhagavato. Yeah. So Maharaj Parikshit is the biggest devotee of Lord Shri Krishna. He is Rajashri, like he is a rishi among the kings. Yeah. So he should not have been cursed. Nisha?
Apapeshu swabhruteshu balena pakpabuddhina papam tadbhagwan sarvatma kshantu marhati. Then the rishi prayed to the all-pervading personality of Godhead to pardon his immature boy, who had no intelligence and who committed the great sin of killing a person who was completely free from all sins, who was subordinate and who deserved to be protected. Hare Krishna.
Right. So now Swami Krishna is praying for his son, Shringi, right? Because he thinks he has committed a great sin. Why? Because he cursed a person who was completely free from all sins, right? He's like a Mahatma. So, like, I think we should read this one, which is very interesting. Shivam, do you want to read?
Yeah. A question may be raised herein that since it was the desire of the Lord that Parikshit Maharaj be put into that awkward position so that he might be delivered from material existence, then why was a Brahmana's son made responsible for this offensive act? The answer is that the offensive act was performed by a child only so that he could be excused very easily, and thus the power of the father was accepted. But if the question is raised why the Brahmana community as a whole was made responsible for allowing Kali into the world affairs, the answer is not given in the Varaha Purana that the demons who acted imminently toward the personality of Godhead but were not killed by the Lord were allowed to take birth into families of Brahmanas to take advantage of the age of Kali. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, right? So if you see Varaha Puran, they're saying the demons who acted inimically, right, toward the personality of Godhead, so they are not killed by the Lord and they are allowed to take birth in the families of Brahmins to take advantage the age of Kali. And but then let's just read the second one too. Is Soham there? Sure.
No, he slept.
Okay, you can finish it. Yeah.
The all-merciful Lord gave them a chance to have their births in their families of pious brahmanas so that they could progress towards salvation. But the demons, instead of utilizing the good opportunity, misused the Brahmanical culture due to being puffed up by vanity in becoming Brahmanas. The typical example is the son of Samika Rishi, and all the foolish sons of Brahmanas are warned hereby not to become as foolish as Shringi and to always on guard against the demonic qualities which they had in their previous births. The foolish boy was, of course, excused by the Lord, but others who may not have had a father like Sankar Rishi will be put into great difficulty if they misuse advantages obtained by birth in a Brahmana family. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, right? So it's an advantageous to be in a Brahmin family because of a lot of good qualities should be there. But if that gets misused, then that's where the problem is. Right? So let's read this. Anilji?
Yeah. तिरस्कृता विप्रलब्धा शप्ता क्षिप्ता हतापि Ways of the Lord are so forbearing that even though they are defamed, cheated, cursed, disturbed, neglected, or even killed, they are never inclined to avenge themselves. Hare Krishna.
Krishna. So devotees generally pardon everyone. Yeah. Rinaji?
इति पुत्र कृताघेन सो अनुतप्तो महामुनिः स्वयं विप्रकृतो राज्ञा नैवाघं तदचिन्तयत्. The sage thus regretted the sin committed by his own son. He did not take the insult paid by the king very seriously. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Ravi?
प्रायश्च साधवो लोके परे द्वन्द्वेषु योजिताः न व्यथन्ति न हृष्यन्ति यत् आत्मगुणाश्रयः. Generally, the transcendentalist, even though engaged by the others in the dualities of material world, are not distressed, nor do they take pleasure in worldly things, for they are transcendentally engaged. Hare Krishna.
Right. So when they are transcendently engaged, they are in the highest pleasure, right? They are beyond the material world's pleasure. Na vyathanti, na rishyanti. So you are not distressed and nor you are taking pleasure in the worldly things. And so that's how Samik Rishi was, and that's how Maharaj Parikshit was also. Yeah. Oh, and this Yeah, so thus, and the Bhakti Vedanta purpose of the first canto, 18th chapter of the Srimad Bhagvatam, entitled Maharaj Parikshit Kalls by a Brahman boy. Bolo Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai.
Jai.
So we complete Adhyay 18, which is great. We have one more to go. So the next one is chapter 19, and that is about the appearance of Sukdev Goswami. Yeah, this is when Sukdev Goswami appears, and then he delivers Maharaj Parikshit, because he knows there are only 7 days, and what can be done in 7 days. That's when Srimad Bhagavatam was recited by Sukdev Goswami. And Sukdev Goswami is son of whom?
Vyasji.
Vyasdevji, yeah. So, and Ved Vyasji is the one who manifested Srimad Bhagavatam. So he got directly from Ved Vyasji, and then he recited it to Maharaj Parikshit. So we have 4 minutes. I think we'll start this tomorrow. Yeah. So we'll start reading chapter 19 tomorrow. Any comments, questions, suggestions? Anything? Maybe we should have a quiz at the end of Canto 1. 19th chapter. What do you think?
Good
Yeah.
idea.
Huh?
It says think before you do anything.
Huh?
Think
How do
before
you-
you do anything.
What's that?
I said think before you do anything. When Parikshit did not think what he's doing, he got mad, and his son did not, the Rishi's son did not think. Everybody got excited and sort of did things without thinking.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's something to learn from this. Right. That's something to learn. Yeah. Yeah. But all right. So we have one more Adhyay, 19th, and then after that, we'll see if everyone wants, how to revise it. Maybe high-level questions. We'll talk so that at least we can revise the whole Canto 1. Yeah. In one of the sessions, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's hear the bhajan. A nice bhajan for today.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna